Welcome back, everybody, to Katawa Shoujo with me, Millbee. And last time we just turned up in the tea room with Lily after we saw Hanako wander out the classroom in what I would assume would something to do with her agoraphobia. Okay, carry on. Lily already sits in the tea room, setting out her lunch alone. Oh, is something wrong? So, Hanako's not here then? Oh, Hisao, how are you? I haven't met Hanako since this morning, I'm afraid. That's right, Hanako and Lily live next to each other. Somehow I think their morning conversations are slightly more grounded than Kenji's ramblings. That's strange, she left class early, so I figured she'd come here. So she's still leaving class early. Huh? Yeah, I've seen her do it a few times. Lily drops her head a little, and her tone of voice is notably depressed. Uh-oh. It's very reminiscent of someone who's used to hearing bad news. I was so sure she'd stop doing that once you two became friends. Everyone has their own pace, I suppose. Well, I was wondering about just that today. Where exactly does she leave? I'm not entirely sure myself. I personally think it's because she doesn't want to be put in a situation where she has to answer someone. I have a flashback of my first meeting with her, when I thought she looked like a cornered animal. Maybe I wasn't far from the truth. But she seems fine with talking to you and with me a bit. It's a little more complex than that. I imagine that the first thing most people ask her is about her scars and what happened. She rarely talks about it with me, but I can tell she doesn't like to remember whatever happened back then. Leaving the class and running away from discussions is her preemptive strike, if you will. Huh. So then how does she explain her talking to me? How does that explain her talking to me? You said it yourself. Yesterday at breakfast you tried to ignore her scars. Once she saw that you weren't going to ask her about it, she opened herself up to you. I guess you're right. Maybe, I don't know, you know her better than I do, so I'll take your word for it. I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure you'll come to know her as well as I do soon enough. I welcome the prospect of her having a new friend, and the two of you have such similar interests. Well, I hardly count reading as a team sport. It's good to have company, though. That's my point. Hanako is still an average person at heart. She also wants company at times like that. Huh, I see. I think, to be honest, both of you still confuse me a little. That's only natural, Sao. We've only known each other for a little while. It's unreasonable to expect you to understand us, just as we can't understand you. But that is half the fun of becoming friends, right? Yes, it is. True. Although, I suppose there is a matter of us being opposite genders. Men and women do seem to confuse each other quite often. True that! She says this with a light giggle, finding amusement at the odd little details of life. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to start eating. I'm offended by your eating. Please stop. No, go ahead. I think I'll eat something too. I think there's too many O's on that. I've got some books I want to drop back at the library before classes. Why am I doing that? I never do that. So I'd better get a move on. See, I always thought two double O's when it was too many or too much or something. If it's just two, as in I'm going to do something too, then it would just be one O. Maybe I'm wrong. You'll probably find Hanako there as well. If you do see her, can you tell her to stop by in my room later tonight? I'd like to talk to her. Give her a stern warning. You're not coming? Unfortunately, I have a class representatives meeting later, so I'll be gone as soon as I finish my lunch. Okay then, well, if I don't see you in the library, if I don't see you in the week, I'll see you for a window. Is that the one from the Truman Show? I can't remember how he says it. Okay, if I don't see you in the library, then I'll tell her in class. I'm sure she'll be back after lunch. We fall silent as we start to eat, and I take a second to reflect on our conversation. I've always thought that Hanako's shyness was simply due to her being self-conscious out of her scars. But that is a pretty superficial way of looking at it. Just when I thought I was able to see through the fog of Lily and Hanako, I realized that I'm more lost than when I was started. Lost than when I started. I feel less lost now. Lily quickly finishes her lunch, acutely aware of her meeting. I don't blame her. Shizune is most likely going to be there, and I doubt she wants to give her the satisfaction of another argument. I must be off. Same time tomorrow? Same time, same channel. I'd better head off too. I don't want to risk being late. Lily smiles gently, picks up a cane, and walks onto the hall. I turn my back on Lily as we head in the opposite directions. For some reason, I find myself hoping she doesn't get into another fight with Shizune. As much as I like Lily, Shizune and Misha have been pretty instrumental in helping me adjust, even if half of our conversations are thinly veiled recruitment attempts. Then again, I barely know either of them. Maybe they were previous leaders of some kind of secret society, but their love for each other drove them apart. Man, I need to stop reading cheap fiction. It's running my brain. I just did a snort. That's annoying. Either that, or I've got to move away from Kenji and his bad influence. It's sad that I can't tell the two apart anymore. I slide my books down the return chute and then crash into the cart with a pleasant thud. Oh, a foot, and then he just crashes. God, I hope she doesn't have a big part in this story. Yuko, however, doesn't seem as impressed as I.
Hisao, you scared me.
Sorry, I thought you would be used to that by now. The literacy level here is so low that nobody borrows any books.
Huh? No, I think everyone here can read fine.
Yeah, never mind. There are some battles that you can never win. Trying to explain jokes is one of them. My dad taught me that the hard way. Say, Yuko, have you seen Hanako about? She left class early, but she wasn't in her usual hiding place.
I think I saw her sneak in before lunch. Oh, but I'm not supposed to tell anyone that.
I just told you that I saw her leave. No need to stress out.
Oh, of course. She's probably in the back.
Thanks. Get any new books in recently?
No, sorry. I'll let you know when I do, though.
Okay. If there's one thing I know about librarians, part-time or otherwise, it's that they appreciate people that take a genuine interest in their work. I walk the now familiar path to Hanako's reading nook, picking out a few titles along the way. Roller Coasters of the Night. Sometimes I find it hard to discover a book that will interest me among the shelves. An author's name and a two-word title don't mean much in a sea of similar words. For that reason, I sometimes reread books that I read in the past. Better to bet on the favourite than a new runner. An unfamiliar title from a new author peeks out among the spines of its neighbours, so I remove it from the shelf. I never get much out of rereading a book. At least I'm not going over old material. As expected, Hanako sits on her bench, on her beanbag, buried deep in a copy of Dance, Dance, Dance. It's Dance Revolution for the books. Oh, I can see it. Oh, my cat has a mouse. Yeah, there's two of them there. They're looking around for mice. Hi, Hanako. How's it going? I fight back the urge to ask why she left class early. If Lily's suspicions were right, then asking her about that would have the opposite effect. Best to leave it for the time being. Sometimes the best way to get an answer from someone is to never ask the question.
Hello? So, I'm fine.
Something seems off, and after a couple of seconds, I realize what it is. Hanako's smiling. Ah! If she looks as pleased to see me... If she looks as if she's pleased to see me. It's a nice change. That's a heartwarming smile. Even if it is somewhat weird. I don't know, it looks odd in her face. It looks like her mouth's too far down. It's a nice change from the usual instinctively frightened reaction. And something I hope I can see more of as we get to know each other better. Way better. Good to hear. How's the book? I've heard it's a trip. Why is he talking like he's from like the 70s? Man, that's a trip.
It's good, I think. I've only just started it, so I don't really know.
Fair enough. Let me know how it goes. I may borrow it once you've done.
Sure.
She's like, God, take all my books, why don't you? There's a good 15 minutes left in lunch. Not enough to really get into a book, but too much to stand around doing nothing. And Hanako's already returned to her reading. so I doubt I'll get much conversation from her. Oh well, better make myself comfortable. I slouch into the beanbag and crack open my book. The familiar style of the author leaps out at me from the very first line. As the sentences turn into paragraphs, I start to relax a little. But no matter how I try, I can't seem to get myself into the atmosphere of the book. This is partly due to the lack of time, but the more distracting factor is Hanako. Every 10 or so seconds, she peers over the top of her book. When our eyes meet, she quickly ducks behind the covers. I know that feels. I guess she did want to talk about something after all. What's up? You look like a prairie dog on a lookout. You look like a prairie dog on a lookout. You look like a prairie dog on a lookout.
No, it's nothing.
I've told you before, nothing means something when you say it like that. Hanako squirms a little in her beanbag, hoping that by changing her position, she'll find the word she's looking for.
I was in an accident.
Whoa! Accident? Just now? Are you alright? Oh, dude. Hanako shakes her head, with her hair flowing around her shoulders in wisps of amethyst. Well, I'd be like, whoa, just now? What? Amethysts on a background of pale and dark flesh.
No, when I was younger.
Oh no, not sad music. Realization crashes into me like a semi.
When I was...
It's alright, Hanako. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. Again, she shakes her head.
No, I have to tell you.
Oh no. Oh no.
When I was young, I was in a fire. My house burned down, and I nearly didn't make it. After that, I was alone.
Hanako's eyes glisten in the dim light of the library, and I reach out to grasp her hand. It's okay, Hanako. You don't have to keep going.
But I have to.
Why? What brought this on?
Last night, Lily told me about your heart. And I didn't think it was fair.
Fair?
That I knew about you, but you didn't know about me.
I squeeze Hanako's hand a little. Don't be silly. Yeah, I have a heart condition. I lean a little closer to Hanako. What I didn't tell Lily is that I had my first attack when a girl confessed to me. I smile a little to break the tension.
Really?
Really, I haven't heard from her for a while though, so I guess it's all over. I know it's all over. There's no other way to interpret what happened the last time. Would you like to go out with me? Christ. Could have just said no. In some ways, not having heard from her again has helped me move on from the period of my life. So now, we both know a little more about each other. About each other, but you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to. In fact, I feel a little bad even thinking about that whole incident. I can almost smell the hospital's disinfectant burning the back of my sinuses again. I imagine Hanako is going through the same thing now. When I was in the hospital, I went to the burn ward once, and only once. I was bored, so I went for a walk through all the wards. I went through oncology and thought it would take. I thought I could take it, but when I got to the burn ward, I had to turn around and went. I turned around and went back to my bed. To think that Hanako would have spent months in a place like that, smelling nothing but corrupted skin, strong disinfectant, and sterilized air. The real bad cases were kept in isolated pods that no foreign objects could enter. That would have meant no reading. I would have gone insane if I didn't have my books in the hospital. And she said she was alone. Did her parents die? I'll have to ask Lily about it. You could just let her continue the story instead of shutting her up. I can imagine myself saying something dumb unintentionally.
Thank you, Hisao. I haven't told many people about this.
That's why you should have let her carry on, because she's not really told many people, so she was expressing herself. I feel like he would have been better to just let us talk. whilst giving her the comforting hand squeeze, of course. You know, you gotta be the comfort there. And be like, hey, I'm here for you, okay? Okay. To be honest, I haven't told many people about my circumstances either.
Then I won't tell anyone either.
Deal. Or no deal. Starring, hosted by the guy who used to do fun, Noel Edmund. Yes? Terrible show. It's fun when they lose. I changed my grip on Hanako's hand into a handshake. As the warning bells chime through the window. Well then, we better head to class then, huh?
Sure.
Well, that was nice. Was that the chapter? Huh, that was quite short. Okay. The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. A clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background, on the verge of hearing. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. Oh, they're playing chess. The diminutive playing piece makes a small click against the board. Like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute move, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do.
Mate.
Again? Does this make this free, too?
Stalemates don't count.
Damn, you're getting better at this every day. That or she's been holding back. I'd never have thought it when I first met her, but she's really got a knack for this game. Chess seemed to become a popular pastime for the two of us, hiding away in the tea room, playing a game or two after classes. She sort of pulled him into this like world where he's like exists, just those two now. I kind of feel like they've sort of been sucked into this world of just these two. Don't know if that's too good for either of them. From here, the students outside can just barely be heard milling about. The everyday noises from below remind me a little of my life before Yamaku, though I'm by now well aware that it's a life I'll never get you back to. Fancy another game?
I have to finish my homework.
Oh, well, see you tomorrow then. Oh, fine, fuck you then, I'm off. I'm only here for the chess, you know.
But what about this?
Hanako points to the tea set surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Oh, don't worry about that. I got it.
Oh, okay. See you.
Later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team. Since I played soccer and other team anal feisty man. Since I played soccer and other sports before my accident, I guess it's only normal to feel nostalgic about what I can't do anymore. But I have no other reason than that for my coming here so often. I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily is a good friend by now, but it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. The small victories I feel every day as I see more of what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I come here most of all. As I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily, and decide to go outside to investigate. Should have eavesdropped.
Are you quite sure? I'm sure. Hisao.
Hanako turns to me with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave.
Oh my, Hisao is here as well?
Afternoon, Lily. What's up? What's up, babe? What's going on?
I was hoping now that I finished with my class representative duties for the day, that I might have the two of you to accompany me for tea at the Shanghai. It'd be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of the school for a change.
I'd be up for it. I think Hanako had work to do, though.
It's not all that much.
Wait a minute, you were gonna hang out with me at the chess and... I see, that's how it is.
Wonderful. It seems that we decided then. Oh no, we're back here. Oh no, no. That means Yuko's gonna be here. I cast my eyes across the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there are only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is a quiet background hum. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm reminds... wouldn't it be the hold Hanako has on Lily's arm? It remains the same as it has been for the entire slow walk down the hill to the local town. Though it's hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or for Hanako's reassurance. The hold Lily has on Hanako's... Oh, maybe it is that way around. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako... Okay, yeah, it is. To retract her cane as Yuko quickly skitters over to where we stand. But soon replaces it right back where it had been.
Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? Oh.
She gives a deep bow, her well-delivered and professional introduction putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change from the norm for Yuko. Just tea, please. Hanako? Hisao? I'll have a slice of pie and a coffee. A slice of pie and a coffee, please.
Just tea, please. Coming right up. Please take any seat you wish. I'll be...
My cat's just looking at me.
And I'll be back shortly.
Yuko gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the counter. We make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. We slip into our seats. The girls on one side of Lily's cane propped up beside them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako's not doing something that she so often does. Rather than keeping her eyes pinned to the ground and hiding behind her blind escort, busily trying to convince herself that the world around her does not exist, she's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. You okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed that she let it show. Class representative work can be very tiring, considering that it often means dealing with the student council. Very tiring indeed. How do the representatives go? Better than I, but not much. Shizune is a harsh taskmaster no matter whom she deals with. I bet she is, the whips and the chains. Doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why'd you do it in the first place if it's that bad? Being a class representative is enjoyable. Sadomasochism at its finest. I love the whips and the chains. That's not how whips sound. It's just enough that people involved. It's just that the people involved are sometimes power hungry. She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine if anyone could make her do so, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako?
I'll be back in a bit.
With that, she leaves for the restrooms. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it, I don't think it was you. But I think she's been getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? That went a bit awry. Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended. You've seen it. Oh, fuck. Duck! Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended. And by now, I really shouldn't be quite so scared of stepping on that landmine around her. Politically correct landmines, everybody. Oh. Let's play a game of politically correct landmines. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell, though.
Silence reigns for a moment before two teacups, a pie, and a mug of steaming coffee appear in front of us. I notice that Yuko takes special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is.
Here you go.
Thanks, Yuko.
Thank you.
Get out of here. With a quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave.
Ah, that's right. I was meaning to ask you something. And now would be the right time to do so.
I'm all ears. Literally, I'm a person made of ears. I don't have arms, I just have ears. I'm just a man made of ears. Just ears everywhere.
Hanako's birthday is coming up, and I was hoping you might accompany me for a present shopping in the city this weekend.
Hanako's birthday is soon? I suppose it would be a nice change to cheer her up a bit. Like Yuko, she always seems to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression. I've never seen her enjoy herself much outside of our chess games. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend keeping me company sounds like a good way to spend a weekend. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for what to do for her birthday? A party or anything?
Hanako being Hanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be...
Lily suddenly cuts herself short, leaving me to wonder why as she brings her teacup to her lips and begins to sip. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed if it was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Hanako takes her seat once again, and wastes no time in drinking her tea. Soon the three of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light, and it makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to like life here, as isolated as it may be. I finish off the last of my coffee and rest the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. The coffee here is a little bitter for my tastes, but still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself in any case. The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about a related topic. Hey, Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any hobbies or things you like doing? Ooh, good. Nice way to get in there. Good way to subtly look for a present. She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in I'd like to ask you a question. Asking such a question about her. It takes her a little time to formulate a response.
I guess I like singing a little. I'm okay with computers as well.
That's my kind of guy.
But I don't use them all that much.
Singing is not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how softly spoken she is. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know all this, since she's been friends of Hanako for 1 year or so by now.
What about
me? She hesitates before quickly flicking her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want to talk about my hobbies after she's told me hers. Well, there's chess, obviously, but also, I like collecting shoes. I like smelling people. It was soccer as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in hospital. This is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little put off by the direction this is taking, and the more I think about it, the more I am too. They're just like, and this. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna. It sounds as if you picked up quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. If a situation becomes difficult, her reaction always seems to be withdrawing into silence, in order to prevent things getting worse. That or physically retreating. Hanako, you appear to be ringing. A soft ringing gives us pause. As Lily reaches into her pocket, it becomes obvious that the sound's coming from her phone.
Sorry. It's okay.
Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking the call a little distance away to avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice to be popular. Hanako smiles, but doesn't take the hook for further discussion. Great, my cat's gone all 2 legs scratching against the door. Alright, I think I'm going to stop there anyway. We'll carry on next time. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, very much fun, very much enjoying these. I've done a few of these in a row now. So yes, I've been Millbee. This has been Katawa Shoujo. My cat is giving me the glare, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.